welcome to Yellow Cardinal Tarot with me. My name's Carol, and this is your end of May 2024 reading. So it'll be the last reading with me until I put my June readings out. So Aries, today what we're going to do is we're going to just kind of look at what your energy is going into the end of May. And so we're going to look at what situation or issue you're dealing with today. Then we're going to look at what's coming up from your shadow that needs healing in regards to this situation. So if you're new to shadow work, I've left a video for you called My Powerful 4-Step Guide to Shadow Work, and I've left that in the description box. It'll be the first video that you see. And it really is an amazing guide that I put together for you of how I do shadow work. And I've been on my own healing journey, an intensive healing journey for the last 7 years. And it's just been a lot of tools that I use for my own shadow work that I put together for you. And then finally, what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask the tarot to give me some guidance for you. And then I will leave you also with a video that I think would probably be good for you to look at in regards to the situation that's going on. And I'm going to take that from my other channel called Carol Cares, which has a lot of videos on help with your mental health, help with even things like, journaling and how to ground. And so just about, help with your healing journey. So let's begin. I'm going to start with the Light Seer's Tarot, and then I will clarify it with the Rider-Waite. So we're going to ask Tarot for 3 cards here for the areas, and then we'll clarify those. Okay, one more shuffle, and then we'll get on with this. So Tarot, how about we look for either 1 card or maybe 3 cards to help us set up here. So let's start off with what situation or issue you're dealing with. That could be a struggle. That could be a pattern that's showing up in your life. So let's see what Tarot has 2 cards for us. So you have, I'll take these 2 and I'll put it up here. So you have the 3 of Wands and the 3 of Swords. So yeah, 2 3s. It's kind of interesting. All right, so we'll discuss that. And let's look at what's coming up from your shadow that needs healing. That's way too many cards there. What's coming up from your shadow? And I got 3 there, and I just want, 2s at most, but what's coming up from your shadow? Here we go. The Emperor card needs healing. And finally, what guidance does the tarot have for you to help you with this, Aries? What guidance does the tarot have for you to help you with this? Okay, so sitting with the 2 of Swords and the Devil behind it. The 2 of Swords and the Devil behind it. All right, so these are like mini clarifiers behind the main one here. And yeah, so let's get some clarifiers here for you. Couple clarifiers for number 1 here are these 3 of Wands and the 3 of Swords. Couple clarifiers here. You have the Knight of Wands. And one more, please. Ooh, the 7 of Cups. Let's put these out like that. It's a little bit easier to read for me. The Emperor card, please. A few clarifiers for that. One more, please. You have the 5 of Swords in reverse. And the Ace of Wands. And the clarifiers for number 3, the Devil, the 2 of Swords and the Devil. You have the 3 of Cups and the 5 of Cups. 5 of Cups. Cups energy here. All right. So, what situation, issue, problem, struggle are you dealing with going into the end of May? You started off with the Three of Wands. Three of Wands and the Three of Swords. And we're going to put those two together. So, you know, the Three of Wands speaks to me. It's number 3 in the pip card. So the pip cards in each suit go from 1 to 10. And the Three of Wands would be, you know, near the beginning of the suit. So it looks like this individual surfer here is thinking about going out on the water. So they've had a plan, you know, they have planned to go on this trip and do some surfing, and now they're ready to finally, you know, take their plan into action. And so I'm seeing here that the issue, the situation is you're thinking of doing something. You've been thinking of doing something, maybe a project you've wanted to start. Maybe you're taking your life in a new direction, new lifestyle change for you, something creative, something for you, something you've always wanted to do, something new you've been thinking about for a while, and you're ready to begin. You're ready to begin. But there's this clarifying it back here. And this is the card, the Three of Swords is a card of a lot of pain. A lot of pain here. So there's something coming up for you that is kind of blocking this. And oftentimes I'm going to say when we're on this healing journey and when there's something new that we want to do, we get this idea to do something. I mean, I get it all the time. I got it when I started this tarot channel. Different, you know, parts of your life when you're thinking, I want to start to do something. You just get blocked by something. So there's some pain coming up here for you. There's something that's preventing you from, you know, going surfing. There's something that's preventing you from taking your life into that direction. And the Knight of Wands here is, and you have the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands, the knight in all my suits is what I call my freedom fighter. This is the knight that's fighting for freedom. So there's a part of you that really has this urge, wants this freedom to go in that direction. And because the knight came up, I can feel it. Like I can feel those wands are creative energy. So I can feel that energy in you that you're wanting to do this. You're wanting to do this, but you're quite stuck here. And then you have the Seven of Cups as your last card. The Seven of Cups speaks of, you know, look at all these things that are on offer for this individual. So many opportunities out there, but there's distractions here. So I'm wondering here if you're distracting yourself a lot from this pain that you need to get at. You're wanting to do something. You know there's something blocking it. That there's some pain, a memory, something that's coming up for you to heal before you can go in that direction you want. But in the meantime, I think you're doing a lot of distracting and you're keeping yourself busy so that you don't have to deal with it. And that just kind of stalls everything, right? So, but I can't ignore the fact that there is something that you want to do. So what's coming up from your shadow? What needs healing? What needs healing here? Well, the Emperor card comes out here, and he explains a lot. The Emperor is this individual that's sitting, almost like he's sitting on this world that he's created here. He's very comfortable, and he has the next chess piece, and he's ready to, you know, place it wherever he wants, but he's very, you know, he's selective. He decides when he's going to do it, how he's going to do it, why he's going to do it. And the Emperor represents, I like to call him Mr. Emperor because he thinks he has so much power. And you know he does. He represents the laws of society. He represents those imaginary laws that society puts out there and says we have to follow. I'm not talking about like the laws that we need to follow, like when we're driving a vehicle and stopping at certain signs and, you know, not the law, not the road signs or but the real imaginary rules out there, like things like you're not supposed to do. And we learn these growing up, like, oh no, I can't do that. And it sounds like it's because of what you want to do that this Emperor's coming up, because it's kind of saying, and this is from your shadow, it's kind of saying, well, this is what you learned when you were younger, you know, you shouldn't do this. So somewhere along the line, you were taught or you learned that you shouldn't do this, or that's not meant for you, that's a stupid idea, you know, don't go do that. Maybe it's not going to bring you much money, or, you know, it's ridiculous. Like, what do you mean you're leaving that job to go do another one that you like to do? Well, that's a ridiculous idea. It's something like that. Because right behind it is this card. In an upright position, it would mean, you know, if you look closely at this card, this is the 5. This is a conflict card, and it's also a change card, because there's something in here you need to look at. I call this card my bullying card, and you can see the bully at the front who's very proud of himself after he's won this battle, right? He's gained himself a few swords. But there's an individual in the background, and you probably can see him right here. He's hiding his face. Hiding his face. He's the victim. He's the victim of the bully. And so and when you hide your face like this, it's a lot. It tells me that there's shame involved here, because it's in reverse here. So there's a resistance here for you to look at the shame in what you've been told that you weren't allowed to do. So maybe there was something you wanted to do when you were younger, growing up as an adolescent or even a young child, and you might even not know what it is, but now you're getting this nudge to do it, to go out and do it. But that ugly, yucky feeling of, you know, you can't do this, you're not allowed to do this, or even like, you wouldn't be able to do that. Are you kidding me? You know, you're not capable of doing that. And so that really, as a child, you really take on that shame of, well, I must be unworthy. I must be less than. And that's what's coming up here in your shadow. And so the next card that right behind it is a beautiful offer from the universe. I love the aces when they come up, because they're offers. They're gifts from the universe. I mean, we can choose. I mean, usually when the universe offers you a gift, you can call it a gift from creator, source, spirit, whatever you want to call it. But there's a gift here that says, you have this creativity. Here's another chance for you. If you deal with your shame and your unworthiness around this situation of why you're not allowed to do it or why you can't do it, because that often seeps in that was the line that I used when I sat in front of the camera for the first time to read my cards. I had to turn off the camera because all I was saying was, I can't do this. You're not allowed to do this. I can't do this. And that was the shame coming through. And so the universe is saying here, you can do this, and here's another offer for you. You might not have been allowed to do it when you were young, but you're an adult now and you can do it. And there's another chance. This ace is another chance for you. So what guidance does the tarot have for you? Well, the guidance that the tarot has for you, 2 cards here. You have the 2 of Swords, and then the Devil appears behind it. The 2 of Swords is this. Let's talk about the 2 of Swords first. The 2 of Swords is this individual that, you know, needs to make a decision, and it's in reverse here. But this individual needs to make a decision here, and so caught up in their heads, not wanting to see it. They've even put this blindfold on. It's not like someone's put it on them. It's we've put it on ourselves. She's put it on her own self. She's not even wanting to see it. And, you know, these crows are here. Crows are great messenger birds. And they'll come here and they're saying, like, listen, just take that blindfold off. Take it off. It's time to take it off. But behind, and I see here that there's a resistance to taking off that blindfold. It's like you don't want to go and see it. You don't want to go and look at that shame. You don't want to look at what's coming up from your shadow. Here's the blindfold. And those birds want to pull it off. And how are you covering this up? Well, there's a Devil card behind it. And so that tells me that there's some form of like attachment. I call this my addiction card. There's some kind of addiction that you're using to cover it up. I mean, let's face it, everybody has addictions. I have them. And I've fought with them all my life, and I still do. So, but this card, I will never sit here and ask you to give up your addiction, because that's your own journey. But this card comes up to say, listen here, you need to bring awareness to how you're blocking your pain. You know, is it scrolling on the phone? Is it alcohol? Is it weed? What is it? Like, and it could be a few things, but it's coming up here because it says you're using these or this addiction to cover up what you need to look at, which is the pain, right? The pain. And this is a sword card, and the sword is all about our mental energy, and it's our mental energy that causes us so much pain. And it's this mental energy because you know there's something else you want to do, but you don't want to go through, my earring just fell off, so you don't want to go through the emotions of dealing with that shame before you can get to this new beginning for you. And so what's coming up after that? Well, you have this Three of Cups here. This Three of Cups. And this Three of Cups comes in when it's needed. The Three of Cups are these three feminine energies in here. And what are they doing? They're celebrating. And what are they celebrating? They're celebrating their creativity. It's a creative card. It's here to celebrate your creative self, but it's also here to say to you, look how far you've come already. Look how far you've come. And you can do this. You can choose to look at your shame. You can choose to deal with it and bring awareness to how you're numbing your pain with your addiction. And it's time here. It's time to take your focus off of these three spilled cups, because you got the card of look how far you've come. Because here I can see that you're really in a state I think you're in a stuck place here where you're focusing on these three spilled cups. And the universe brings in this card because you see this water that's flowing back here. This water is all about emotions. And you know, our emotions are supposed to flow in. We process them, we feel them. That's processing them. And then they flow out. They flow in and they flow out. It's supposed to flow. But what's happened is your shame when you were younger has come in and it got stuck and you held on to it. And that will come up and block sometimes some new ventures that we want to go on or new things we want to do for ourselves. And so the universe wants you to, take your focus off these three cups here, this pain that you're in, that you're feeling that's coming up from your shadow, and take a look at these two cups over here. Because those two cups on there is this new offer that's coming in for you right here. Those two cups right there is your creative self. And so it's just right around the corner. It's right around the corner, whatever you want to do. But you need to deal with your shame and your unworthiness. Everybody has shame. Everybody, every single one of us. And so, Aries, I'm going to leave you with a playlist on shame, and it's going to teach you how to journal from your shame and how to get rid of that shame that you're feeling. And hopefully it'll open up something for you so that whatever's new that wants to come in here will come in. Take care, Aries, and I'll see you in June. Bye-bye.